Howdy viewers, Lance Corporal Joe Hartley here. Welcome back to another episode of Wombat Thunder. Bringing you a surprising result, playing the scenario Valley of the Ashes. This is after a tactical victory last time. I thought I'd give it another go. And what you can see on the battlefield now is part of the story of where the Russians came through with another victory. And you can see on the screen we had one tank destroyed and the tow hunter vehicle. We had where's the other tow vehicle? Another tank knocked out here, third one over here. Down the road. There's the second tow vehicle there. 3 tanks had M113s knocked out, another M113. Scouts and the American crew's doing okay. And the good thing, story on the saddle here, I call this gap between these two hills, is there's no tanks left to speak of. And if we go over to the other side of the battlefield on the Russian left, recall from Battle of the Ashes, these 4 tanks here tried to cause great damage to us, and again they've caused great damage. 1 BMP, BRDM and a T-64, nothing, and 1 casualty. And you might remember from Valley of the Ashes, the Americans get reinforcements of the M60A2s, and they're lined up here, also destroyed. Tow vehicle here, knocked out, and a tow vehicle at the back also knocked out. 2 more tow vehicles up on the ridge here, knocked out and knocked out. And the Russians are well past the village. They're trying to exit, ignoring the remaining Americans in the village. Nothing left really. Possible spot. And that's all that's left of the American forces in the village. So at 26 seconds left on the clock, the US Army surrendered, giving the Soviets a total victory, which is a fantastic result. But Russians lost 9 tanks and 9 armored vehicles. Americans lost 19 tanks and 8 armored vehicles. 2 aircraft, no aircraft lost to the Russians. The Americans didn't get any of their enemy casualty condition. Scored some points for some of the Russian tank companies, and because they surrendered, they didn't get points for Recollection Buck. And the Soviets got points for everything, and they got their bonus points for causing enemy casualties and enemy condition. See, Russians didn't come out without losses though. In the village was a bit of a fight. Immobilized, these guys. Doing too badly really. Trying to work out where all the smoke is coming from. M113, M113. 2 M113s. I'm not sure why they were parked there. And another M113. But the Russians did take some losses. I think it was a A10 or a Cobra got this guy on the hill. They got a BMP, air power got a BMP, and they're mobilised. And the American artillery popped off this shulker, which was bad news. And there was some tank fire from the ridges. So we lost one tank, I think it was, on the adopted the same strategies before. Park all our tanks in this hill on the right hand side, and when the time was right we rushed out across the creek, over the bridge and around the forward slope of this hill, and didn't lose that much going that way. Having said that, tank here and a tank here, but loss here and a loss here. Dropped by, knocked out by the same bomb that killed the tank, which was air power. So I guess victory in Valley of the Ashes is possible. Extremely lucky, and I can explain how lucky I was. The air controller did all the work. The 5 M60s, A3s, so all the guys on the hill. 2 M113s, 2 M150 tank hunters, so both guys on the saddle, or this the saddle between these two peaks, and 3 M901 improved tows. So the 2 tank hunters were on the left in the village, and the 3 tank hunters were up above and to the side of the saddle. And you can see now the air controller is still trying to get the choppers and airplanes in to reduce that town on the left. This artillery guy practically did nothing, 2 casualties. This artillery observer M901 improved tow, so that might have been a tow on the right hand side, 16 casualties. And this artillery observer 15 casualties. And he was responsible mainly for dropping artillery on the village. This guy got Cobra, the shulker, and this destroyed shulker. Let me just check. He got no casualties. So where did the rest of the American tank losses come from? I think if we cycle through some of the Russian tanks. 1 M60, 4 casualties. 1 M60A2, 3 M113s, 1 casualty, 3 casualties, 2 M113s. All those are mobilised, 3 casualties, none, 3 casualties. This BMP, none. BMP on the left there, gone for a, looks like a Wanda. This unit here, no casualties. Squads and crews making up the balance. There was a good payoff from parking these fellas right on this little elbow here. Of course the BODM got nothing, this guy got nothing. This guy got 2 M60A2s and this guy got 2 M60A2s, so the pair of vehicles right on that elbow had a great line of sight down into the floor of the valley in front of in the front of the final town. And I think you know, without the air power this would have been really difficult. Obviously all the tank kills here are opportunistic. It set those guys on fast moves to get ahead, and this position here in Overwatch was targeted by American airplanes briefly. But getting the right air power combination seems really important, and to be extremely lucky is also very important. I had at start all of the helicopters, target units operating, American reinforcements coming up to take position in the saddle. I did adopt a kind of a somewhat narrow radius for their power, so they could concentrate all their sighting ability on that very narrow sector. I think from about here to more or less here, and catch the Americans as they were coming up. Really didn't try to punch through these guys, although I mean these fellas at the back were probably spotters or artillery, which did cause a bit of grief. Didn't see many dragons coming out. And on the left side for the air power, I dropped the 2 fixed-wing aircraft and their 4 cluster bombs. Did some really good work with the M150 tank hunters and the improved tow vehicles. So 4 of those tow launchers. Looks like each of them got a cluster bomb or were targeted by artillery. And these guys were, as you can see, they were targeted by some artillery at different stages of the battle. Don't really see much by way of damage. Cluster bombs are not very effective against, there's some damage there. Cluster bombs not very effective against tanks, so I decided the fixed wing aircraft would be best placed to target the tows coming up in this in the valley on the left side of the hill, and the tanks and the choppers in my 24 Hinds that the Russians had, which with launched ATGMs with focus on the tanks, and specifically focus on the units coming up the saddle. Without the tanks being removed, American tanks being destroyed on the saddle, the cost of the Russians coming down the valley, exiting the woods, as we saw last time, exiting the woods and making it across the stream, the bottleneck of the bridge, then moving fast against Mid-Leichenbach would have been very, very costly. Indeed, some of these fellas were immobilised. Even one of the BRDMs got a M60A3, which is nice to see. The other BRDM is now burning wreck on the side of the hill here somewhere. This BRDM on the left hand side is a wreck nonetheless. He tried to back away out of the line of sight of tow vehicles with thermals and tanks with thermals, but even so, knocked off by something. I think it was a missile. And this fella here was carrying the HQ element, which providing some spotting information to other parts of the anti-tank battalion. Not that they seemed to help very much, but what did help the Russian was being one of the troops being crack and veteran. They can fire and shoot. Still get a great result. Ranges weren't that great, but the tank fire provided some kind of suppressive benefit. But that was an excellent result. What I actually didn't plan to play this scenario the whole way through. It was really just a trial scenario to better understand where the air power, how better to play the air power. And I mixed and matched them in other games after the loss, or after the tactical victory in the first plane, decided to mix and match the fixed wing and the choppers, and put the choppers on the left and the fixed wing on the right, but on reflection the choppers on the right seems to be the best option. They can fire their ATGMs at tanks I need to kill as soon as they start moving, and the fixed wing aircraft can drop their cluster bombs on targets like the M113s and the tow vehicles, which are more likely to be destroyed from them. Just trying to work out where the American observer is with the artillery. I can't really see him. Once the tanks on the saddle were gone, concentrated all the rocket artillery on the village. Made that fight relatively easy one. Let the American reinforcements get to the village. They just become targets for the rocket artillery, and then continued to use whatever artillery I had left on the tanks on the hill, on the shillelaghs on the bottom of the hill, and try to pester the life out of these tow vehicles between sorties from the aeroplanes. Didn't get any aircraft shot down. So that's amazing result. Thought I'd share that with you. Let me know how you went. Let me know if you played this as the Americans, what it's like on the other side. And give us a like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.